Are you stuck with an unhealthy body or unhealthy finances or both? Well, you might want to pay attention to this because there's one theory that could explain why you're stuck and, more importantly, how you can get yourself unstuck and back into the flow, both with your physical health and your financial health as well. So what I've got here is something that's known as the Eisenhower Matrix. This is actually named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who gave a talk, I think in 1954, where he said, famously, I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. He said the urgent are not important and the important are never urgent. Now, this has been developed into this tool, very, very, very simple tool, extremely useful in business, and you'll come across it a lot in business growth areas. Okay, so let's kind of look at that first. So you've got, so basically it's a 2x2 matrix. On one axis you've got, is it urgent or not urgent? The other axis you've got, is it important or not important? Now, to cut a long story short, I'm not going to do a kind of a deep dive into this, but basically too many of us spend most of our time on the urgent side of the board. Now, when it says urgent and important, right? This is the fire alarm stuff. This is like it's do, right? You just do it. You drop everything and you do it. It's critical, okay? So there's no question about that. No one's going to argue about that. The problem is that a lot of us spend too much time in the urgent but not important. An email comes in that says, I want this, right? It's not important, but it is time-based. So you spend time firefighting, spinning plates, replying to things, just stuck in like an email job or whatever. And what you're not doing is, because that's sucking away your time and your attention, you're not spending time in the critical place. Now, obviously not important, not urgent, forget about it. Bottom right, we don't care too much. This is the key one. It's the top right. Important, but not urgent. And these are the things that matter most over time. This is when you are building, laying foundations, creating systems, right? Following up, doing all the things that you don't absolutely have to do, but if you do them, they work, right? It's like preparing compost, right, for your garden. Okay, it's not, you don't see any immediate benefit, but when you do that, when you put your mulch and all that kind of stuff, your garden will grow better. This comes from my history as a vegetable grower. Don't grow them anymore, obviously. So this is the key thing. As everyone will say, the key to business growth is to try and get out of this. So delegate these things, not important, urgent. Delegate them to somebody else or to some kind of system, or automate them if you can, so that your time, your life force is freed up for this top right. Important but not urgent. Okay, everyone's going to do the do, but this is the one. And here, what you need to do is you need to decide when you're going to do it. Make sure it gets done, right? In your calendar. For example, I've got times in my calendar twice a week when I go through messages that I've sent to people about the product and to follow up, because I don't want somebody to have been contacted once and then ignored, right? So this is very much important but not urgent, okay? Same applies to any kind of sales and marketing activity. So what about health, right? Focus on, make sure you make time for the important but not urgent, and that's when you'll get back into flow financially, right? So where are you bleeding money every month or whatever? Anyway, so regarding health, we do the exact same thing, right? We're stuck on the urgent side of the board. Yes, everyone, urgent and important, yes, right? And it's for the same reason. Here's the thing. And it's because we are stuck in stress. We're stuck in fight and flight mode. And that is you're dominated by the sympathetic nervous system, which is your biological default, which is action mode, it's about reacting rather than taking action. Can you see the difference? When you're constantly reacting to what's going on, you're not thinking, okay, what matters most here? And this is the sympathetic nervous system when it's in charge, right? You're kind of highly caffeinated, you've got high cortisol, high stress. You're reacting from dawn till dusk. It's tiring and it's exhausting. And this exact same thing happens with your health. That when you're stuck in fight and flight, the sympathetic nervous system is dominant. You're reacting to the little things and you're missing the big ones, right? So symptoms, for example. So yeah, a few things that you might do. See if any of these ring true for you, right? You are obsessively Googling your symptoms to say, okay, this is happening. And I get it. It's natural for you to say, oh, this hurts, or this has got a rash, or whatever it might be. But here's the thing with health. The symptoms are the surface effects of something that's going wrong underneath, right? Symptoms are not, they're a signal, but they're not really a sign of health, right? And more importantly, eradicating the symptoms is not establishing health. It's not building health, but our modern allopathic healthcare system, which doesn't deliver health, by the way, is obsessed with symptoms, right? We want to make that swelling go away. We want to make that headache go away. We want to bring down that fever. Now, some of these are really, really dumb things. But when you're in the world of pharmaceuticals and all you've got is an external, exogenous treatment that you can give somebody, here, take this pill, then that's all you can really do, because health doesn't come from a pill. It doesn't come from a packet. It doesn't come from the outside. It has to come from within. Okay. Another thing that you might do is being overactive, right? And there's definitely a theme here, which you'll get. So that's like you first thing you do, you book an appointment with your family doctor, GP, or you're trying multiple things at once, multiple fixes. You don't know which one works, right? So what you're trying to do stuff, right? You think, oh, I've got to do something. I'm sick. I've got to do something. The reality is that your body knows how to heal itself, and actually not doing stuff, recuperating, convalescing, resting is very often all you need to do. What you need to do is get out of your own way and let your body heal, right? But that takes an awful lot of faith, and that faith has been drilled out of you since you were tiny, right? As soon as you could understand, people have been teaching you that your body doesn't know how to heal itself, can't heal itself, right? And the only way that you're going to get the relief that you want is by going to the doctor, the pharmaceutical companies, the chemist. Get something in a packet that you take, makes you feel a bit better for a bit, could introduce its own problems as well. So quick fixes and cover-ups, right? So I've got a headache, right? I need a painkiller. Well, that's not addressing why have you got a headache, okay? Or you could turn to sugar or energy drinks or caffeine or whatever just to try and perk up. I've got to keep functioning, Well, no. What you've got to do is stop. Sit your ass down and let your body heal. And this obsession with activity, doing something, is going to block the healing. It's going to mask the signals, those symptoms which are important, but they're clues that lead you to what's wrong. They're not what's wrong, okay? And so whatever is wrong could actually get worse over time, because all you're doing is suppressing the symptoms. There's a lot of ways that we can kind of react instead of acting to stuff that happens. Stuff that I've seen before, I need to double down on my strict diet, or I need to do fasting, or I need to do some kind of purge or flush or detox, right? Urgently, I've got to do these things in order to get my health back. Well, here's, I think, the fundamental problem with that, and I'm not saying these things can't ever work at all. Sometimes for acute inflammation, I've seen like dry fasting, in my own experience, can be really, really effective. But the problem is that if in doing these things you're putting your body under more stress, you're going to get more cortisol, you're going to get more hormone disruption. You're going to keep yourself stuck in fight and flight, the sympathetic nervous state, rather than the parasympathetic, which is when your body can actually heal, right? So don't do anything that's putting you in stress is the key. Another thing that people can do, apart from like the fasting, the dieting, the whatever, over-exercising, right? Just keep going, keep being productive. I can't be lazy, I've got stuff to do. I mean, that's just the general sickness in our society, right? And this is kind of modern as well. This is the Protestant work ethic that has been around, Calvinist inspired since the Industrial Revolution. We're talking like 200 to 300 years. That's as long as we've had that thing. People used to understand that, when you're tired, you need to rest. When you're sick, you need to convalesce, right? This has just been drilled out of us by an industrial complex, okay? Let go of that shit. And then a final one I would say would be kind of this illusion of control by obsessing over the data. So you're tracking your sleep, you're tracking your macros, you're tracking your footsteps or whatever it is. And again, it's that might be giving you the illusion that I'm taking control over this, but do you need to take control? I mean, who says you need to take control of your health? Here's the thing, Pilgrim, your body knows what to do, right? You have a divine spark in you, an incredible design. You are a self-healing organism. Trust that and get the hell out of your own way and stop trying to be busy, fixy. It ain't going to work, right? What you need to do is you need to be in a relaxed state, a positive, balanced, peaceful state, and let the miracle that is your body to do its stuff. So let me grab, there we go, the Fix product. Been talking about it now for over 2 months. I'm never going to stop talking about this. This is an absolute miracle thing. You put a drop of this in a drink in the morning, and here's what it does. I can explain the mechanisms separately, it doesn't really matter. What it does is it knocks you out of the sympathetic nervous state into the parasympathetic nervous state for 8.5 to 9.5 hours every time you put 1.2 ml of this in any drink and knock it back, right? We are stuck on the left-hand side of the matrix, right? What we need to be doing is focusing on the top of the matrix. And that's what actually, in my experience, this product has helped me to do. It lowers your cortisol. It lowers your sense of stress. You stop panicking, you stop reacting. Now, obviously, I can't make any promise for anyone specifically. This is my own personal experience, that my mental state became more balanced, more pure, more simple, more at peace, okay? And that just helps you to stop reacting, to stop stressing, stop worrying, have the faith, have the confidence that it's going to work. And guess what? For the exact same reasons, at the same time that I turned around my health, my mental health, I also turned around my finances as well. Because it's the same thing, it's the same blocks, it's the same stuckness. Where are we stuck? We're stuck in urgent. We can only see what's urgent, and we ignore what's not urgent but still important. And to me, that's what this product does. So if you would be interested in unsticking your physical health or your financial health or both, then I want you to drop me a comment, right? If you're concerned with health, just type in a comment, just say health in the comments. If you're concerned with money, just type money in the comments and I'll get back to you. But you can also put health and money in the comments as well. Please do. I would love to hear from you. I will help in any way I can. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later.